The beggar girl said, "Don't eat that." The billionaire wouldn't have listened unless he saw it for himself. The spoon was already halfway to his mouth when the voice stopped him. "Don't eat that." It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was thin, shaky, almost afraid of being heard. Ethan Blackwood, one of the richest men in the city, froze. Around him, the private restaurant buzzed with soft music, clinking glasses, and people who had never worried about money a single day in their lives. The table in front of him held a dish worth more than most people's monthly income. He slowly turned his head. The girl stood just beyond the velvet rope, barefoot, dirty. Her clothes were torn at the sleeves, her hair tangled and uneven, as if scissors had been used in the dark. She couldn't have been more than 8 or 9 years old. Her eyes, though, were old, too old for her face. The guards moved instantly. "Get her out of here." One of them snapped. The girl didn't move. Her eyes were locked on Ethan's plate. Her lips trembled. "Please," she whispered, "don't eat that." Ethan frowned. He wasn't used to being interrupted, especially not by beggars, especially not during dinner. "Why?" he asked coldly. The guards hesitated, surprised that he had spoken to her at all. The girl swallowed hard. Because someone changed it. Laughter broke out from a nearby table. "Changed it how?" Ethan asked, irritation creeping into his voice. Her hands shook as she pointed. "They put something inside, something that makes your heart stop, not fast, slow." Ethan leaned back in his chair. "And how would you know that?" She looked down. "Because it was meant for someone else, and I saw them do it." The guards grabbed her arms. "That's enough," one said. "You're done." "Wait," Ethan said. The entire restaurant went silent. He studied her face. There was no greed there, no begging for money, no expectation of reward, only fear. Not for herself, but for him. "Who is they?" Ethan asked. She hesitated. "Men who wear clean clothes but have dirty souls." That annoyed him. "Cute," he said sarcastically. "Take her away." As the guards dragged her toward the door, she suddenly screamed, not for help, but in desperation. "Please, I already lost my mother. I don't want to lose you too." That sentence hit him harder than he expected. "Stop," he said sharply. The guards froze. Ethan stood up. "Bring the plate," he said to a waiter. "And bring the girl back." The waiter looked confused. "Sir, now." The dish was taken away and replaced with another from the kitchen. Ethan pushed it aside. He walked toward the girl and knelt so they were eye level. "What's your name?" he asked. "Amina," she said softly. "How do you know my mother?" he asked, confused. Her eyes filled with tears. "I don't, but I know what it's like to watch someone die and do nothing." Something inside him shifted. He ordered the guards to let her sit. The restaurant manager protested. Ethan silenced him with a look. "Test the food," Ethan said calmly. "For poison?" The manager asked. "Yes." Within 20 minutes, the truth came out. The dish had been tampered with, not enough to kill instantly, but enough to stop the heart within hours. The restaurant went into chaos. Police arrived. The chef was arrested. The waiter disappeared. Ethan sat there, staring at the untouched plate. If not for a barefoot beggar girl, he would already be dead. He turned to Amina. "You saved my life," he said. She nodded slowly. "I didn't want anyone else to die today." "Why were you watching them?" he asked. She hesitated, then spoke. "Because my mother died the same way." The words landed like glass breaking. She told him everything. Her mother used to clean rich houses. One night, she came home sick after eating leftovers someone gave her. By morning, she was gone. Doctors said it was a heart problem. Amina knew better. She had seen the man pour something into the food and smile. No one believed a beggar child. Ethan felt something he hadn't felt in decades. Guilt, not personal guilt, but a heavier one. The guilt of living in a world where children had to become witnesses to survive. "Where do you live?" he asked. She shrugged. "Wherever it doesn't rain." That night, Ethan didn't sleep. He kept seeing her eyes, the fear, the courage, the loneliness. The next morning, he did something he had never done before. He went looking for her himself. He found her under a broken bridge, sharing dry bread with a younger boy who wasn't even related to her. When she saw him, she stood up fast. "I didn't lie," she said quickly. "I swear." "I know," he said. He took her and the boy to a doctor. He bought them clean clothes. He gave them food. But something felt wrong. She ate slowly, carefully, as if the food might disappear if she trusted it too much. "You don't have to rush," he said gently. She looked at him. "Food leaves. People leave. I don't." That broke him. Days turned into weeks. Ethan arranged shelter, education, safety, but Amina remained quiet. One night he asked her, "What do you want?" She thought for a long time. "I want no child to scream and nobody listen." That night, Ethan cried. The man who owned skyscrapers and private jets cried like a child. He shut down businesses linked to exploitation. He exposed corruption in his own companies. He started a foundation, not in his name, but in hers. Amina Foundation, for children no one listens to. Years later, at an award ceremony, Ethan stood behind a young woman at the podium. She was confident now, strong. Her hair was neat, her eyes still deep. She looked at the crowd and said, "The world didn't change because someone was rich. It changed because someone finally listened." Ethan wiped his tears. He never ate another meal without remembering the day a beggar girl said, "Don't eat that," and saved more than just his life.